this video, we are going to use stop motion animation to visually discuss and explore the concept of memory. There will be 3 animation exercises using techniques that lend themselves to thinking about memory. Firstly, we are going to use an object that holds a memory for you and animate it with drawing. Next, we will use an image of a place that brings back memories for you and use collaged images to animate that. Finally, we will explore some claymation animation and use lighting to manipulate it. Each of these experiments will produce a very short animation and will reflect visually the nature of memory as partial, sensorial, multi-layered, and deeply personal. I'm going to be working on a tabletop, and I'm using a cheap phone holder to hold my phone overhead, so that both my hands are free. If you don't have a phone holder, to make a very simple version of it, I'm going to take 3 strips of cardboard, the width of my phone and around arm length. Tape them together with some masking tape and tape my phone to the end, making sure that the camera can look down over the edge of the cardboard. Then I'm taping this to this small stool I have, and I'll place the stool on the table I'm working on. I open the app, I click New Movie, I click the camera icon, and we're ready to go to start taking photos. As an example, I'm going to animate this small orange to move across the screen. Stop motion animation works by taking many still photos, and when these images are played quickly, they appear as if they are in motion. To create a smooth animation, move your object a very small distance at a time. So, I take a photo, move the object, take a photo, move the object, and again, and again. On the left-hand side of the screen, there is a slider going from top to bottom. This is called the onion skin, and when you slide it, it shows you the previous photo taken. And it helps the animator to line up their frames, which is another word for photos. When I have taken several photos, I want to play my video and see what it's looking like. Press the play button and your video plays on loop. When I press the back button, that brings me to the whole video view, also called the timeline view. I can press play to watch my video. I can click an individual frame and delete it or pause it. I can click on the settings icon and change the speed that the frames play back at. These are the basics of the app and all that we will be using today. For our first animation, take a blank piece of paper and position it under the camera so that it fills the whole frame. Next, take a small object that holds a memory for you. Place it in the middle of the page. We are going to use drawing here to animate this object. I'm using this small stone that was a favourite of mine when I was a kid. Using a pen, I'm going to slowly draw around my object, taking a photo regularly and using the play button to check on my animation. The drawing should appear as if by magic. Use your imagination to draw something of the memory that the object represents for you. If you make a mistake, you can always incorporate this into the animation by having the page crumple up and roll out of frame, or by drawing over the mistake. Experiment with moving the object around the page too. Next, we're going to animate some collaged images. Take a few magazines and newspapers and go through them looking for an image of a place that you can use to conjure up a memory. Cut out some other things and colours that appeal to you or that are associative to that place or that memory. Once I have a varied selection of images, I can go ahead and animate them. I'm going to be quite playful and intuitive in the animation and see where it takes me. It's interesting here to play with layering image on top of image, echoing our ability to layer memories on top of each other. I'm using some tracing paper to layer over the images to obscure the memory. Here I am lifting the tracing paper a little with each frame to echo the movement of the waves. For our last animation experiment, I am using some plasticine, tinfoil and a torch. It's fun to play with plasticine's transformative properties. Try starting with one sculpted thing and have it morph into another. As these are 3D objects we are making, it can be fun here to experiment with lighting to change the mood or to add shadows or silhouettes. Try using materials that affect the light, like tinfoil or even a glass. Here I've cut a word out of card and I'm using that with the torch to create the moving silhouette. To export your animation, in the timeline view, press the back button. You'll see all your animations here. Long hold the one you want to export, click the share icon, and then export movie. This will bring up all your options. You can save as, it'll save to your phone. You can share with Drive, or upload to your photos through Gmail. I would love for you to send us your animations. Any sent will be used in a video artwork created by me, artist Sophie Béhal, and screened in the Douglas Hyde Gallery. Please send your animations by email or as a Google Drive link to douglashydegallery@gmail.com with the subject as Animation Lab. We are really looking forward to seeing your creations.